Mr. NPR is going to do it.
Oh, yeah, NPR, man. What's your name, man?
Jason DeBruin.
Nice to meet you, Jason
Good to see
DeBruin.
you.
Right?
DeBruin.
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 Got you.
I work for public radio, and I would love for the federal government to continue funding public media. I think it's a very important service that we provide.
Okay.
It is not liberal. It is not conservative. It's
Public media.
fact-based.
Truth-based.
Truth-based.
Yes.
Importantly, we report on the things that are important to people. Like it's not, Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, that's very political, talking
Mainstream,
heads.
yeah.
We're here in DC, right? A lot of people want to talk about just like things that get very, I don't know. It just gets very, I hate to use the word political. I mean,
yeah, that's what it is.
That's a word that's been co-opted a little bit by the right, so I don't like that word so much. But
sure.
It just gets a little bit like heated and crazy, and honestly, I feel like it's sport. Like I feel like MSNBC, Fox News, and some of these shows are basically sport, where they argue a little bit, and we watch it, and that's great, and then we go on to do the next thing.
Yeah.
But if the Commanders beat the Eagles, like it doesn't actually matter.
Yeah.
Right? If
he's an Eagles fan, which is funny. That he said
that's fine. But or if the Eagles beat the Commanders,
no, I was just thinking
whoever wins, whoever loses, like that's nice, and we cheer for it. But it doesn't actually matter. What happens in politics does actually matter.
Yeah, I'd actually say, sorry to interrupt you. So I actually kind of like that you're saying this. Well, I would say that I'm super thankful for social media or new forms of media nowadays, because a lot of people are becoming basically independent journalists because they're able to. Because yes, of course, people are going to have their political leanings, of course. But like people are becoming a lot more independent with journalism. There's more apps that are coming out that are showing the different, like, okay, is this left leaning? Is this right leaning? I think that's actually really cool because at the end of the day, I think all of us do want the truth. So I would say just alternative media existing is really cool. How do you feel about that?
100% agree. And that might be surprising. Like I am part of legacy media, right? I'm part of public media, which has been around for decades. Before that, I was at a newspaper. So I am part of legacy media.
Yes.
I love that there are people who can just like the barrier to entry has been reduced significantly.
Yeah.
And I think that's awesome. I think that is awesome. If people are responsible in what they do.
Yes.
I mean, like, I feel like this right here is more or less responsible. Like, obviously I've not vetted you, but I feel like this is more or less a responsible thing to do. That's not everybody, but it is, in my opinion, actually more than people in legacy media give new media, so to speak, credit for.
Yes.
Like, there's a lot of TikTok journalists, commentators, whatever you want to call them.
X is pretty big on that, too.
Sure, sure. There are influencers are the new media, and legacy media, like what I'm in, like we need to pay attention to that. It's funny, so I'm from Raleigh. I work for a public radio station in Raleigh. It's called WNC. I'm in charge of our digital products.
Yes.
And so I really think that we need to be paying really close attention to what's happening in digital media and be on those sites. We need to have a TikTok influencer. Our reporters need to think of themselves as local news influencers. That's what I tell them all the time.
Because it's like, I'm noticing like everybody basically hates mainstream media now. At least most of the people that I talk to, I've seen they're like, bro, everybody, like, it's so obvious where they're leaning and shit like that. So they already know if I'm listening to this person, I'm not going to get the real truth. They're not going to include like real things. But I would argue, and I want to actually hear your opinion on this since you've been in legacy media. What at least I've noticed with like seeing alternative media, looking at like X, Rumble, just different types of websites, seeing different apps. Like, I would say that personal responsibility, though, starts to becoming way more important because even though maybe people's political alignings, they might not be like real or transparent about it completely. Now you have to work, I would argue, a little bit harder to know what the truth is because everyone now is giving their truth. So it's like at the end of the day, to really know what is real, you still have to go out and kind of experience things. How do you feel about that?
So, but here's where I'm going to tell you something that maybe you're going to disagree with.
Sure.
I think the legacy media still is much more trained in what I'm going to call big J journalism and does a better job of like doing actual fact checking.
True.
And presenting both sides of a story.
That's true.
I'm a bit like, as I said 5 minutes ago, I'm a big supporter of new media, digital and alternative media, influencers. I am a big supporter of that.
Yes.
Those people are not trained in journalism ethics. They're not trained in like making sure that, okay, yes, you just had this great interview. with this trans person who is being objectified, that just came out of prison, that they're having a hard time getting integrated back into life.
Yes.
Okay, but that's a really good story. You also have to talk to the prison. You also have to talk to the halfway house.
Yeah.
You also have to talk to the different companies that they applied to and maybe didn't get hired at.
Because I would say, like, sorry to interrupt you.
You're
so
good,
I would say, like, because it's an actual system behind it, like the information of how to do this well is kind of there. Because that is kind of true. I would say with alternative media, since it's newer, like everyone's kind of like randomly doing their own thing. That's true. I would say it's not as well machined or well oiled yet. I think it's getting there, improving though.
I don't know that I would agree that it's getting there.
Yeah.
But
not to. I mean, yeah.
But again, to be clear, like I just want to make sure, don't edit this out. I am a big fan of new media. I'm a supporter. I'm a big supporter. I'm a big supporter.
I love the truth more than anything. So.
What I do feel strongly that new media influencers are very good at presenting whatever it is that they want to present. They're not really great at presenting, well, this one really bad thing is happening, but, well, that's kind of because this other thing or this other not so bad thing is impacting that. And so the reason why this is really bad is, well, there's also, sort of like the playing the devil's advocate. Like there's no playing devil's advocate. And I think that legacy media reporters and outlets are really good at playing the devil's advocate. Now, to my friends on the left, what you're going to say is, oh, that's classic both sidesism.
Yeah.
If you go too far, for sure, I agree with that. And I do think that legacy media have fallen into a both sidesism trap. I mean, I don't know if I should say this, but I mean, you open up the New York Times, and I feel like you fall immediately into a big trap of both sidesisms. And I don't want that. I mean, there is absolute truth. And I think when reporters, when journalists, when legacy media even find absolute truth, they should report on it that way. And I think we do not do that enough.
I think it's kind of hard. Sorry to interrupt again. I think it's kind of hard to like, because you're gonna have your political leanings, you're gonna have your beliefs, so it's hard to honestly report very fairly.
Yes, but that's where legacy media folks are trained in checking your bias at the door.
True.
One of the things that journalists have gotten away from is saying that we don't have biases. Of course we have biases.
Yes.
Everybody has a bias.
Yeah.
But what legacy media reporters are very good at doing is checking their bias at the door.
Yeah.
And entering the workplace, entering an interview, starting a story, doing reporting, doing research, doing whatever the reporting is that we do, and checking our own bias at the door and legitimately looking only for facts. And honestly, like one of the things that I really wish that I could say to people is that legacy media reporters are frankly the most skeptical people on the world.
I bet they are.
And I mean that truly, like for even to our own biases. Like if I have a story where I'm like, oh yeah, this like there's this wrong happening in the world and I'm going to expose it. And like I sink my teeth into it and I have like all the pieces to like write that story and lay it out. As soon as I'm done with it, I'm like, all right, now wait a minute. Like what? Yeah. Maybe it's not. Maybe there's reason for it. Maybe the state does things this way. Maybe this other person does. Maybe the person, legacy media are so legacy. You're good, brother. You're good. Legacy media are so good at just being skeptical, honestly, and that's even of ourselves. Like honestly, we're so good. Honestly, we're so good at being skeptical, even of ourselves, that whenever we have a story that we get ready to produce, we always double and triple and sometimes quadruple check our sources, our facts, to make sure that we're thinking of everything, to make sure that we got everything covered, so that what we ultimately produce is like a really quality story. Yeah.
So what I would say, and I'll kind of wrap up here because I don't want to hold you too much time. Yeah, at least since I've really been enjoying the alternative media, and a lot of my generation now is really enjoying it. The thing is, with the well-oiled machine that legacy media has been, because they've done it for so long, it's like with alternative media, this is all you basically can do. Is like, trust me, bro. Because I would say, at least for me, even when I give information to my guys and stuff like that, I will always say, hey, this is what I think, this is what I see, this is what my perspectives are, this is what my beliefs are. So I will say what I believe immediately at the door. And then I'll be like, hey, the only way you know what's real is if you go and do this. Because I'm obviously not a media company. I'm not a well-oiled machine. I present information because obviously when I'm sitting out here talking to people, I'm getting information. And that's a big part of why I do this. Because like I'm sitting and talking to real people and here and there. stuff. So
that's not so much different than what we do. Like the benefit that we have. So what I was about to say is like all you have is your reputation, and if your reputation is laying out facts and being a legitimate presenter of news, you're going to be believed. Legacy media, the benefit that we have is that if I'm part of NPR, New York Times, Washington Post, regardless of who I personally am, Jason DeBruin, I benefit from having years, decades, perhaps even centuries of high quality and good reputation. Good reputation.
Yeah, because you're a part of that's true.
Right. Whereas new media, you're starting from literal scratch.
Yeah, like anybody know who you are. I don't know what you're. Yeah.
Exactly. But that doesn't mean you can't build a reputation, right? And so if you report fact-based stories, news, find your niche, report on that, dig into that and report only that, and report honestly, accurately. When you make a mistake, own up to it. Yeah. Find your niche. Like one thing I really wish, like I'm sure you've seen the stats. We have lost so many local reporters, and there's so many city council meetings. Like we're right here in downtown Washington D.C. I mean, how many reporters are there within a 50-mile radius of? I mean, like hundreds, bro, hundreds. Like we're in Washington D.C. We just passed the state capitol. There's so many reporters in this area, and of course, reporting on national issues is important. Of course, I'm not saying it's not. But also what's so important is what's happening I'm from North Carolina. Let me just shout out Apex, North Carolina, a city you've probably never heard of. Garner, never heard of it. Wake County, North Carolina. Like these places are also so important to report on, and that's happening across all 50 states. However, 2,000 counties, or I forget how many there are in the states, but I really wish, instead of these pop-up new media influencers reporting on just being another person reporting on, Charlie Kirk or what's happening at Capitol Hill.
Sure.
I really wish they would go to a city council meeting and report on that, because that's so much more important and it's so much more impactful to people's lives. And that's really what we've lost. And
I would also, sorry about that. I'm gonna let you finish up right there. So even with that, I think, because if you're by yourself, there's an incentive to make money. And the thing is, you're gonna be incentivized to cover stuff that is popular in the current moment, rather than go to a specific place where,
if there's one thing I could leave y'all with, please, I beg this. Outrage and shock and, saying something crazy, that's what makes money. But that's not really important. What's important to people's lives is their property taxes, their local police, where they get their water and sewer from. I mean, your schools, where you send your kids to schools, that's so important to people's lives. And yet people, all they want to do is fight about the reason that this shooter killed Charlie Kirk. And I'm not saying that's not important. It is. Believe me, that is important. But that's not important to your life.
Yeah, I actually really agree with that shit a lot. I think it's because it's kind of hard. I think it's more of a human nature thing, in my opinion. Like, we kind of care more about what is the crazy story rather than what's,
That gets back to what I said a few minutes ago about politics as sports now. All we care about is what my team did versus your team. That's not important, man. What we really need to be focusing on is, look, water comes into your house and you just sort of take for granted that it's clean.
Yeah, that's true.
But what if it's not? But what if it's not? Like,
bro,
and listen, the way that you know whether or not it's clean is by covering your, sanitary sewer district, your local city council, your local county government.
Because you could even know your shit is about to get messed up, but if you're not paying attention to your local news, you don't really know.
And I just really wish people would pay more attention to where they live. And I mean, look, this is me saying that as somebody that's been a local news reporter more or less my whole life.
Yep.
And
congrats, by the way.
Thank you. I feel like it's a mission.
Yeah, it is a mission.
But I just really wish people would pay more attention to that, because it matters so much more to their life. And I mean, look, everybody said this a million times. We're split. We're so divided, Democrat and Republican. But Democrats and Republicans in whatever county drink the same water, right? We flush the toilet to the same sewer district, right? The trash pickup is the same people. The police force is the same. We're subject to the same police force. We're subject to the same city council and county commissioners. And at the end of the day, I don't care what my neighbor's Republican, Democrat.
Let's make sure we got clean water,
right? And that's those are the issues that make so much. That are so much more impactful to people's actual lives. And I just really wish people would pay more attention to that. That's all.
Nah, this was so awesome, bro. That was fire. I like that. What's your name again?
My name is Jason DeBruin. I work for North Carolina Public Radio. We have been defunded. The Corporation for Public Broadcasting has been defunded. And that's put us in a really tough position. We are still on air. We're still broadcasting. We're still bringing good news to people. We're still covering hurricanes. We're still telling people where they can get fresh water if they've experienced a hurricane. When electricity is coming back on. I work in North Carolina in a relatively big city. In Alaska, they're doing like literal life-saving work. And look, I can't make anybody fund the Corporation for Public Broadcasting tomorrow, but that's what I'm gonna leave you with.
Yeah.
Fund public media. We need that. Fund public media.
Gotcha, man. All right, thank you so much, man. That was awesome, brother. Thank you so much. Yeah, that was great. For sure. Let's go. There you go, man. What's your name, man?
I'm Gerard.
Gerard, nice to meet you. I'm Ali.
What's up, Ali?
Yeah, bro. So basically, did he tell you what the name? Did he tell you what it stands for?
Figure it out.
Okay, so basically,
I said four young African millionaires.
yeah, brother. Hey, man, that hard. He said for young African millionaire. That's kind of tough. I mean,
young American millionaires.
wow. Nah, it's actually ambitious. Young ambitious man.
Ambitious.
Yeah,
I was
right.
close though with aspiring.
And I guess African millionaires, you can fit in that.
Ambitious millionaires?
Yeah. No, it's ambitious man.
Oh, ambitious.
I mean, they count. If you're an African millionaire, you count because yeah. So anyway, pretty much the rundown is I'll just kind of ask you a little bit about your experiences, maybe your career a little bit, because maybe a guy can learn from your experiences and be like, oh, I didn't know some shit was like that. So now that I know that, it benefits their lives in that way. So yeah. Okay, so
I don't have perfect answers, but people are where they are.
We live in an imperfect world, and that's why I'm out here doing this. If everything was perfect, I wouldn't need to be out here at all. Yeah. So
saving the people.
yeah, bro, I'm trying my best, man. Okay, so first, do you live in DC?
I live in DC.
Okay.
Been here for a long time.
All right. So I'm assuming you built your career here for a long time. And what is the career that you're currently pursuing?
I'm a fitness studio owner.
Ooh, fitness studio. So is it like do you have like clients that like come to your studio and shit like that?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. So is this something that have you always been to fitness your entire life? Is this something you studied in school? You're like, bro, I kind of want my own fitness studio to happen randomly.
You're good. You're good, like keeping the energy and asking new questions. I like this. I also do what you do. So
Wait, you have a podcast?
I have a podcast.
I can shout out your podcast.
Yeah, cool. So I'm gonna tell you the story.
Sure.
Because life is a story.
I agree.
It's not about just results or whatever. So I grew up a gay, black, overweight boy in West Baltimore.
Yes.
My mom passed when I was 18 of congestive heart failure.
Rest in peace.
And from that, when that happened, fitness changed to me. I always played sports and stuff like that. But
What'd you play, if I could ask?
I played basketball, baseball, football.
Oh, crazy, bro.
So, just doing everything. And my dad put me in this space. But from that time, fitness changed for me from about being like physical and whatever to being like a mental health kind of sanctuary, right? Like I'm 42. So I graduated high school in 2001, so when my mom passed.
That's when I was born.
Okay. Well, I was 18. So when it happened, a lot of stuff they talk about now was not available, right? It was not like therapists and all type of stuff.
Yeah,
but
so
the gym kind of became my therapy. Basketball became my therapy. I just went there and like figured it out. And I wanted to always create a space that if it was 2001, it would have saved my mom's life. So I created fitness spaces that are inclusive and fun, challenging, inspirational, that right next to an Olympic athlete, you can have a woman who's a mother, someone who's 9 months pregnant, a grandmother, someone who's never done it, a grandfather who's never done it. So we just create a space where we meet you where you are and we're going to take you where you want to be.
Nah, that's such a fucking fire story, first off, bro.
I didn't make it. It's just my life.
It's just
my life.
And I think that's so awesome. I mean, you're probably one of the first people that like has had like a story like pretty much from since you were like 18 years old all the way up to what you're kind of doing now. So like that's just cool as shit. And I would agree in the fact a lot that like fitness kind of became your sanctuary because like you didn't have the other resources with like therapists and stuff like it is now. And I would argue, and when I tell a lot of my guys who might be feeling depressed or down or whatever, I think going to the gym is almost like a surefire way to like fix a lot of your mental health problems. Obviously, of course, this is not end all be all 100% if you got something going on. But for a lot of guys, what I've seen is like if you just go to the gym, if you're like in depressive state and stuff like that, and of course I'm not a mental health expert, but what I've seen is like when you go to the gym, it helps you out a lot. So I kind of want to ask a little bit about that. So would you say like working out, how do you feel like it affected your mental health or like improved it at all? Is it like maybe it's not specific, that's fine, but I kind of want to hear.
Yeah. Well, I think there's studies that show that mental health is more effective than sometimes even like pharmaceutical things for it, right?
So like going to the gym is like better.
Yeah, better, or at least a tool that should be like combined in, right? So the big thing is like when you are working out, all the other things are not present. Like you have to focus in on there. Yeah. And then also just kind of like brings endorphins in, and also just like what else in your entire life is all about you? Literally, like what else is like when almost 80% of your life is about other people, emails, work, all type of stuff. It's about other people. So like even stuff with our family, it's not good or bad. It's just about other people. A lot of our stuff is about serving, right? Yeah. But like it's not.
I would say even especially. Sorry to interrupt. I'd say especially as men. Maybe that might not be something you subscribe to, but especially as men, like I want guys to be in that leadership role, or provider role. So naturally, as like attesting to what you're saying, like everything becomes about like everybody else. Make sense? Yeah, but continue what you're saying.
No, yeah, but that's true. And like just making a space where you can be like, oh, this time, whether it's 45 minutes, an hour, 30 minutes, 20 minutes, is just about me. And what that entail happens is like when something's about you, then you entail your next step is like, well, I matter. My thoughts matter, my feelings matter. And then you start to express some things and like go through some things and just like self, whatever. So I just want people to like just find that time, whether it's in a group, whether it's by yourself, whatever. But fitness can be a sanctuary for you.
I think, and obviously the last thing I'll kind of say with that, there's like, from a confidence perspective, I think it's great too to see yourself get physically fitter. Is just like that gives you a sense of certainty in yourself. Like, oh, I can go to the gym consistently. Oh, I'm getting in better shape. This means that I can do this and I can do that and I can do other things, right? I think when men are kind of in a more depressive state, at least what I've noticed is that it's because they don't feel like they're useful or capable. And I would argue just when you go to the gym, it's like it's just you and the weight, as you said. So like when you're lifting the weight and you see yourself get stronger, like, well, shit, what else can I do? I could do more things. And I'll kind of ask, like maybe outside of the fitness studio at all, would you say that fitness has allowed you to be confident in other things that you do as well?
Yeah, I think so, for sure. Like I think not just fitness, but doing hard things. In general, it just increases your capacity, right? So like if the program says 10 reps and you got 8 reps, and on 8 it feels like I can't do it, but you figure out a way to do it. The next time you're gonna be like, hey, I can do hard things. So I think that's men, women, everyone. Like that's like humans. Like I think we're just all relatable, right? Like we have way more in common than we have different. So we always want to make that sure people like know that. And fitness is like a great barrier, I think, of that brings everyone together.
Okay, so kind of like last question I kind of ask you here is, well, for your fitness studio, do you have like a bigger dream with it, or is it at a level that you really enjoy and you're like at a good place in your life with it?
Yeah, we're scaling and growing, but like my thing is I'm a visionary and I'm all about the mission, right? So my thing is we need to scale because there's more people out there that need what we do, right? So I'm just about serving people and making sure that people like know. And the thing about business is like you have your niche and you do what you do and you serve your people. And if you're not elevating at your highest level, those people won't get served because the people that come, I think it's Sweat DC. But people come to Sweat DC,
that's hard too. I saw that. I was like,
they probably won't find the community in other places that are already around. So I encourage everyone to be entrepreneurs. Like, do your thing because your story is your story. Yeah. My story is my story because like I went through it. Yeah, so like what I create, but what I create is like it's so organic to my life, and it's gonna speak to people that story is organic to their life. So the thing is like there's no real competition. I just encourage people to like be 1,000% yourself, and get rid of the things that make you want to be like other people and deal with those issues and those traumas so you can like understand all the things, and out of trauma greatness can happen also.
And that's what's happening to you right now, bro. So that's fucking awesome, bro. What was your name again?
Gerard.
Gerard, nice to meet you, man. That shit was awesome, bro. Man, great conversation. Yeah. Quick podcast. Wait, I know you. Joe, come here and sit down. Yeah, bro. What the fuck, bro?
I haven't seen
What's
you in a
good?
minute. Nice to see you.
Christopher Robin. Oh my fucking God. Okay, bro. Wait, first, I'm going to talk to you. Now I'm going to talk to you. Yeah, bro. Now sit down, bro.
What are we talking about
Nah,
today?
bro. This. Man, I can tell you so many fucking stories, but first, this is the fan podcast, basically. This is my good
podcast.
That's it, the fan podcast, man. So basically, it's for young, ambitious men. So I'm talking to people from different walks of life. Obviously, we walked a similar path in life a little bit.
Points,
Yeah, in high school and shit like that. So I'm basically, asking you about your career, what you're currently pursuing right now, because maybe a guy wants to get into what you're going into right now, so he can kind of learn from that shit. You feel me?
Very nice. Well, I currently am in law school. I'm in my third year. I had gone straight through from undergrad to law school. I had played college football before that.
Catholic, right?
Yeah, small D3 school. Fun time though, great time. As they're mentioning, I also did track there for a little while, but we got off that eventually. I'm now in law school. I'm pursuing sports and entertainment law because I want to do some type of job related to sports because everything's just more fun when sports are involved. Yeah. So currently I work for the MLSPA, like Major League Soccer, the labor union that represents the players. Yeah, great time. But we'll see what I end up doing. Right now, I'm just kind of grinding out law school. It's busy. It's very much worth doing, I think, and I'm a big fan of what I got going on.
I'm not gonna hold you too long, so I'm gonna ask you like a few more questions. Okay, so at least what are some things? Because like I've heard a lot of people around in DC like doing law. Like I've said with a bunch of people that like doing law, but your niche is cool as shit to me. So at least. Yeah. How is this like different from like just regular like legal law, like from the sports world? How is it kind of different? Can you like tell me a little bit about that?
Well, it is truly a bit of every type of law. Like there is not like sports law per se in that's like a body of doctrine.
Yes.
It's more so that you just do a little bit of everything through a sports lens. Gotcha. So like at the MLSPA, for example. It's like
because like sports has its own range of legal issues, like like contracts and shit like that, and you're like that's what you're paying attention to.
Yeah. So it's pretty much the same type of work you'd be doing in any other job. It's just as it specifically applies to sports, which just makes it more fun to me and makes it more interesting to me.
Okay, bet. So at least if a guy wanted to get into this, right? What would be like a big thing that you've learned? Like, oh shit, you gotta understand this or you gotta know this. I'm gonna end off there.
I would say you would have to love to read, because at the end of the day, and I hated reading before this. I was just like, if that's what I want to do in life, I got to learn how to love to read. And because that is just a major aspect of it, is you are going to spend an insane amount of your time just reading and writing. And you got to be okay with that. And you got to be okay with that to get to where you want to be in life.
Yeah, it's pretty solid shit, man. Hey, shout out to the Wood, man. So what high school is this bitch, bro?
Oh, yeah.
Good to fucking see you, Joe. You you're the first person I've seen from Sherwood out here. I've been waiting, bro. I'm like, somebody's going past.
I'm glad I could.
Okay, bet. Yeah, sure. What's going on, man? What's your name?
Malott. How you doing, man?
A lot?
Malott. Yeah,
okay,
Malott.
got you. I'm Ollie, man.
Ollie, that's it.
Yeah, bro. So basically, give you a quick rundown. I'll be asking you here. It's a fan podcast, so it's for young, ambitious men. So I'm talking to people from different walks of life, hearing about their experiences, because maybe you have a career or some experiences that a guy can learn from and, use actively in his life. So, so that's how we going to move. Okay. So first, I want to ask, you live in D.C.?
No, sir. I live in Maryland.
Okay, got it. Do you mind if I ask where you live at?
I live in, like, Bowie area.
Bowie area. Okay, I live in Silver Spring.
No shit.
He actually, he's like deep in PG County.
You go to Bowie State? No shit. 10 minutes from my house. 10 minutes from my house. Yeah.
Okay, so basically, as I usually ask, like, I'm like, okay, if you live in DC, like, you could give a little rundown how you feel about the area and shit like that. But since you don't, I would still assume you have a career around here, right?
I have a career in NIH up in Bethesda, but I've been in DC all my life. I've been in and out of DC so many times that, second house.
It's like second house.
Well, if you from the DMV, you from, Maryland.
Yeah, you say you from DC. Yeah, you can say that shit.
When I go back home, I'm from DC.
That's true, bro. Even when I went to college, I was saying the same.
You say DC. That's it.
Okay, so you said NIH, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, can you give me a little rundown of what that kind of entails? I'm not really familiar with it.
Yeah, so what I work at is the Vaccine Research Center. So what my job pretty much is we do clinical trials, and I'm the sample processor. So when you do a clinical trial for, like, right now, we're doing mostly for flu. Yeah. So if you go in there for a flu or anything like that, you will get your blood drawn, and every time your blood gets drawn, it comes to me. I process it. I separate all the stuff we don't need, I keep all the cells. And so we do vaccine research on all the cells. So for anyone who's, I don't know how your policies are on vaccines or anything like that, or anyone else's, but I can tell you that that's how I roll. You know what I'm saying? I vaccines and all that stuff. That's all we do. Vaccine research especially where I work at. NIH is a broad thing from anywhere for anything to do with health. But where I work at is vaccine research. Yes, sir.
Okay, so what are some things that you've been learning from doing this? Because like vaccine research, first time I'm hearing this, I'm kind of interested a little bit. Like, what's that kind of like? You said, for example, you're talking about you taking people's blood, like when people get their blood drawn, and then you're separating the stuff that you don't need for the stuff that you do need. So like, what do you kind of even mean by that?
So like with when we actually do the actual research on the blood. Yes. We're doing the research on the cells. So we're doing like research on the plasma, research on the cells. Sure. So we're trying to see with the, like when you get every year you get a new flu vaccine, right?
Yes.
So we have to make sure that flu vaccine works. So we have to understand that. So you see what I'm saying? Like the white blood cells and everything like that, and like everything and how that works and the trends of it, right? Yeah. Because due to popular belief, everyone thinks that, we just giving vaccines willy-nilly. Hey man, if it was like that, life for me would be easy.
People would probably be dying though.
Yeah, 100%. But that's what I say. We're so integral that anything we do, I've seen vaccine, like the smallest little indication that something's off, we stop it completely. Not even off. Anything that doesn't seem right, it's so in deep that we check everything. Everything is checked to the T.
So it's almost like you guys will take like a flu virus, and then you'll take the cells from like the blood or the white blood cells as well, and then you'll put it. I don't know how it works. I don't know how they fight each other, but
you know what I'm saying. So you're trying to see like what the trend is in that person. So you'll see like how the virus in the body will dissipate and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's very in detail. Like it's a whole thing.
Oh, I bet.
Like it's for my job personally. It's so small. Like it's such a small integral part. But you go, it's many parts. Oh my God! Like just in the vaccine research center, it's one building up in Gaithersburg. Yeah. That's one building that does it. We have so many different labs in that one building, but it's so integral that like it seems so not. You see what I'm saying?
For your part, bro, like you don't get that shit right. Like a bunch of people could die.
As soon as if I get my stuff wrong, every step after that, like I'm the first step. Okay. It's kind of like, when you're making a burger, right? I always like to simplify. When you make a burger, if you don't get the buns right, what are you making?
It's not even a burger no more.
It's not a burger no more. You started the bun, so pretty much, so like that,
Okay, so like a final kind of question I kind of asked about this year is like, okay, so if a guy wants to get into this, and I guess even if it's specifically with vaccine or working at the NIH, what is like a big lesson that you've learned? Like, hey, you gotta understand this. This is something that's ridiculously important for this particular niche.
All it is attention to detail. Every single signature, every time, everything, it's all attention to detail. I always tell people when you come in, it's a simple job. When I come in, it's the same exact thing every day. I never change my process. But the smallest step, I might forget a time, I might forget something. That can mess everything up down the line. So just a small little thing. It's detail oriented, and also just having just a clear mind that you can make mistakes. It happens, but don't try to hide mistakes.
Yeah. Somebody's life could be in the balance in this work.
You might think to yourself, like, hey, man, it's not who cares. This is very important. And that's why I feel like every job, even if you're working at 7, anything that matters.
Even you're making a burger.
You see what I'm saying? You might not think, you might have forgot, whatever. Yeah. It could matter to someone else. You see what I'm saying?
True, man. All right, thank you so much for that, man. What's your name again?
Milo, Malat.
All right, nice to meet you, man. Yeah, appreciate that. Nice to go again. I just want to ask questions.
My good side. This is my good side.
Okay. Yeah, what the hell, bro? I thought you said this. You just said this is your good side.
This is my good side.
Okay, cool. Okay. What the hell? How are we going to do this? Okay. So this is a fan podcast. I'm going to ask you a little bit of questions around your career, dating, shit like that. Is that cool? Cool.
That's cool.
Okay, cool. Okay, so
Don't
first.
Stress me out.
Okay. Yeah, you should be stressed. You should be worried.
Work is
like
stressful.
Yeah, true. That's why I'm gonna ask about it. Okay, first. Do you live in DC?
I live in Chevy Chase, Friendship Heights.
Okay, so you're just like visiting. Do you live here? Okay,
no,
so she's visiting.
We live close enough. I live 30 minutes away.
Oh, no, I live in Silver Spring. No, I'm familiar with Maryland.
I live closer than you, bitch.
Yeah, I mean, look, man, I'm just making it happen, bro. I'm in the streets now. I'm here. But anyway.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay, first, what do you do for work? Your career. Ooh, okay, no problem. No problem, man. I don't want you to be federal.
Zip side.
Okay.
Zip.
Then dating, I would have to ask that now.
Dating, I've been dating the same man for 5 years.
Oh, Good.
I love him. He has a big dick. He has curly hair.
Ooh. All right, bro. Why you out your shit, bro? You selling them to bidders, the highest bidder here.
Dark features. Dark
Oh.
features.
Oh, he's a black man.
No, he's
Oh.
Brazilian.
Oh, Brazilian. Very interesting.
He's very sexy.
Okay, but you've been in a 5-year relationship.
Yeah,
Okay, that's actually really good.
we're not obsessive jealousy, so we're very cool.
What do you mean by that? Obsessive jealousy? What is that?
Like we're not like, oh my god, you cannot speak to a woman.
Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah, so he not very protective.
That's not the word I would use. He's not
Cool.
very controlling.
I got you. Where's he at now?
Bulgaria. Apparently, all the women look like me there
Wait, so he visiting Bulgaria?
for a wedding. Yeah,
Okay, cool. Well,
I
congrats. there.
passed the option because I'm making money.
Yeah, with the confidential job that we don't know,
No,
we can't talk about. But I guess the bread hitting is what you're saying.
it is.
Okay, so then at least question I want to ask you about a relationship because 5 years is a long time. That's actually very good.
It's
like,
very good.
Yeah. Okay. So what is the main thing about him that made you want to be in a relationship with him? If you can like consolidate it into one thing.
His discipline.
Ah, good.
He keeps me motivated. He keeps me disciplined.
Oh, I see.
I'm a wild card without him.
So he stabilizes you.
Yeah,
Yeah. And would you say this same discipline is applied to like his career and what he does?
I think I provide fun. I'm fun. I'm wild, and he stabilizes.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, with 5 years, and it hasn't been on and off. You guys have been like tight 5 years. Yeah?
No, yeah,
Okay. Nah, this seems really solid. He seems like an ambitious, disciplined guy. Yeah.
very ambitious.
Yeah. And then that's what stabilizes you.
But it's also his will to work out, his will to keep the routine in order, his will to like get the bag. You know, like
Yeah.
there's no like tunnel vision, but also we can have fun. We're not
Yeah.
crazy on the tunnel vision.
Yeah.
But we're like,
But like he's
reasonable.
focused and yeah, that
Focus.
grounds you.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
Exactly.
He knows you're out here?
Yeah.
Because you out here in these streets? These cold streets? You know you out here?
It's not that cold. It's September.
Not them streets. Not them
It's
streets.
September.
Yeah, true.
He knows. Of course he knows. He wants me. That's what we do. We protect each other so we can have freedom.
Smooth. Okay, cool. I'm actually glad that you're in a long-term relationship, though. I'm telling you, I think a lot of people are not in relationships as much anymore, at least long-term. So
It's sad.
I'm glad. I hope you guys.
I'm a companion type of person.
Good. I hope.
I like having a partner in crime.
Good.
And goodness and everything and watching TV.
Great.
Chill.
I hope you guys stay together for a very long time.
Thank you.
Of course. What was your name again?
Lucy.
Nice to meet you, Lucy.
Nice to meet you.
Yep.
What's your name?
Ollie.
Ollie. I love that.
Thank you.
Oliver.
It's a nice name. I try. Mm-hmm. Thank you. I appreciate you waiting, by the way.
I sat down.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
You want to sit down too? Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. True. Okay. You like, bro? You like, what the hell? She leading or following? All right, you guys have a good night. Mm-hmm. Cool. That happened. Cooked, bro. Cooked. Cooked. Yes, sir. What's your name, man?
My name is Kai.
Kai, nice to meet you, bro. My name is Ali. Yeah. So basically, just a fan podcast. I'm talking to people from different walks of life, hearing about their experiences, mainly with career, because maybe you're doing some shit or you've had some experiences that a guy can learn from. So I kind of want to ask you questions around that. That cool?
Sir.
Okay, bet. All right. So first, I want to ask you: live in DC, man?
I live in VA, bro.
Oh, you live in VA. So you're just visiting the homies?
Yeah. You know, we come outside, DC, have fun.
Nah, bro. I've been enjoying this area. This strip is great for sitting around, like talking to people and shit. Like I've been really enjoying it. So yeah, DC.
I come here, socialize, have fun, get to know people. It's a good night.
Head back, take care of business, right?
Yes, sir. You know what kind of business, bro.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
No,
you know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? That what that is, there's that business. I'm talking about money business, bro.
You gotta take care of the money business before you have that business. You know
Come
what I'm
on,
saying?
God. That's
You know
what I
what
mean.
I'm saying,
First,
bro?
that's even what I'm trying to hear about. So
Once
what's
you take care of that, then you can have as much fun as you want, bro.
type of shit? So first, I want to hear about the money business. So like, what's that kind of looking at? What's your career, man?
So what I do is I work. I went to school. I have a 9 to 5, but on the side I have some properties. So
So you invested in real estate.
real estate from a
Yeah.
young age. I work as a scientist, 9 to 5. That kind of helped support, my purchases with real estate and all that. Yeah, bro.
So would you say like you're using? Oh, so you're basically using that money to invest in real estate? Is that real estate something you want to do long term, or is like
Real estate is just helping me make long-term, money, for my future and stuff. All the money I make on my job is just for fun, bro.
Oh yeah.
It's just for the biddies and vacation, all that stuff.
Okay.
But yeah,
So then, is there something then bigger that you do have planned? Because if real estate's kind of for investing, the job is kind of like, okay, I got a lot of money from doing this job. Do you find purpose around it at all?
yeah, bro. I mean, right now I have priorities. I'm trying to find a family, start a family, all that stuff. Once I get that going, the rest will come through. God first and anything, bro. Even though we have fun, you still gotta have God.
Yeah, no, I do.
You know what I'm
Another thing to ground you.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So I never.
Yeah, I'm young, bro. I'm 24, so I'm
24, bro. I'm 24 too.
24.
Yeah, bro.
Let's go.
Yeah, Birdman.
Respect, bro.
Yes, sir. Okay,
Yeah, bro. So one day, I'm trying to retire early. So obviously, you gotta have your finances straight in place. Yeah, bro. So the way I'm doing is I'm making passive income while I'm making regular income.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? With real estate and all that. If I sell all my properties right now, I'll be chilling, bro. But I'm gonna keep stacking that and keep developing and expanding and over time. Right now, the market's crazy right now. I was in it in a good time, so I got a little bit lucky. But
you said at a young age you started it, right?
bro, I started straight at like high school. I was grinding. I've been working since I was 14, like full time. Like,
no wonder you want to retire early. Like you've been in the
Yeah,
game, bro.
bro.
You've been about the paper.
that's what it is, bro.
Yeah.
That's what it is, man.
Yeah. Okay, I actually kind of want to ask you a question around the family. You're like, I want to start a family. I'm gonna be honest. If I had the bread in a good position already, I would want to start like having kids as soon as possible as well. Is there a reason like why you like derive a lot of purpose from wanting to have a family at all? Like I kind of want to hear about that.
For me, it's more like my parents are my role models, and I see the way they've raised our family, and the way things are. It just makes sense, bro. Start young, have a family young, and you don't want to have kids at an older age, bro. You know what I'm saying? Life is more better when you have a partner to share it with. But obviously, you want to have your life financially straight before you do all that.
Of course, yeah. So I was saying, like, if I had my money,
to grind earlier so you can enjoy later. You know what I'm saying?
it's just nice to be able to see that you're gonna get the fruits of that kind of labor there. I kind of ask you a little bit about your upbringing then a little bit because you're saying that you see how like your parents have kind of moved.
Yeah.
What's your religious kind of background, for example?
Bro, so I'm Muslim, bro. So my parents, they came from Afghanistan from during the war. They came here. They migrated. My parents didn't go to college or nothing. They wanted me to get an education. So I did that out of respect for them. But, I fucking hate school.
I do too, bro.
I just did that shit for the degree and, I got that out the way. And I knew, like, school is not for me, but you still got to get it done. So
And that's what probably led to the real estate stuff, right?
Exactly, bro. That's why I was working always. Like, I was working my ass off in high school and everything, and I was stacking up my bread while everybody was buying cars and shit. And then at that point, I bought my first house at 18.
No, you're cooking, bro.
Townhouse, but, I sold that, and I got another house. I still have a few properties during that time. So right now, the market's crazy. Everything's gone up, like, exponentially.
So you're probably like, bro, thank God I was doing this shit.
And it's all thanks to God first and my dad, bro. My dad, he guided me, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Straight up, man.
Fucking awesome, bro. I'm really excited to hear about your family, man. That's gonna be lit. What was your name again?
It's Kais.
Kais?
Yes, sir.
Nice to meet you,
All right, brother.
man.
Take it easy,
Good
brother.
fucking shit, bro.
And, it was really nice talking to you, bro. I wish you the best, man. I wish you the most success. And, inshallah, you're going to be up there. I'm going to know your name everywhere. You know what I'm saying? What's your name again, bro?
Ali.
And what's your channel and everything?
FYAM Podcast. Show shit up on
FYAM
YouTube.
Podcast. Everybody, give him a follow, subscribe, like, share, because he's the best. He's on the come up, bro.
My mama, that's facts, too.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
All right,
I
brother.
appreciate that, bro.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Take it
sir.
easy, bro.
Yeah, bro. Hey, appreciate you.
Fuck Donald Trump.
You want to sit down and talk to? like, cool. There you go, man. What's your name, man?
Gabe.
Nice to meet you, Gabe. I'm Ollie.
Gabe.
Nice to meet you. Yes, sir, bro. Do you live in D.C., my man?
I live in DC. I live in DC. I live by Mount Vernon.
Got you. Okay. Actually, I think I did because have you heard of Olney Elementary School before?
I have not.
Okay. Because I was gonna say my elementary school used to always do a trip up to Mount Vernon, so that's all I can kind of remember of that area.
Yeah.
That's like the only time I kind of remember. I think it was actually my brother went. I don't think I actually went. I just kind of remember that. But anyway, first I want to like give you a rundown kind of what I do here. This is a fan podcast. It's for young, ambitious men. So I'm talking to people from different walks of life, hearing about their experiences, mainly with career, because maybe you're doing something or pursuing something, that a guy can learn from and be like, okay, I kind of got that knowledge and I can kind of use that. So that's going to be like the line of questioning. Cool? Okay, bet. So you said you lived in Mount Vernon, right?
I live in Mount Vernon.
Bet. So what is the current career that you're pursuing down here?
Accounting.
Okay, gotcha.
Yes, sir. I plan to get my CPA, and then I'm working for LIUNA. It's a labor union.
Okay, I see.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what made you decide to get into that? Is this maybe something you've always been passionate about? You tried maybe different things. You're like, boom, okay, I kind of want to go into this. Or like, what does that kind of look like?
Absolutely. My dad, he worked for LIUNA. He's a international representative for the union. So protecting workers' rights, protecting workers' voices is extremely important, especially in this day and age whenever we have a fascist in office.
I said, that's an interesting claim, bro.
It is. It's an interesting claim. What are your thoughts?
Well, what I'd honestly say, especially in today's day and age with labels, it's hard. I think everybody has a different meaning on what fascist means and doesn't mean. So at least first of all, I'd ask you, when you say fascist, what does that mean to you?
Fascist. What does fascism mean to me?
Yes.
Fascism in this day and age means restricting certain companies, say ABC or fucking any other legacy media.
Gotcha.
It's restricted.
So like Fox News, for example.
Fox News, for example.
Yes.
The criticism of Charlie Kirk and his passing is now all of the sudden prioritized in this country.
Uh-huh.
No,
No, I'm going. Are you asking?
I'm asking you.
This is what I would kind of say. First, I want to talk about the meaning thing, because the reason why I asked that is because it is very easy to like give somebody a label like fascist, for example, or you just any and even any of the words. This could be any of the words. It could be misogyny, transphobe, homophobe, fascist, anti-Semitic, all of the words. So the reason why I asked meaning is because what fascist means to you is just restrictions, right? You're saying like legacy media.
Restrictions on media, restrictions on, for example, maybe in this day and age, we have restrictions on maybe your even reproductive rights, right?
Sure.
So let's throw that out there for the most clear example, your reproductive rights in this country. Reproductive rights, it's a lot of the time tied in with religion. No?
Yeah, no, I agree.
Oh, absolutely. It's tied in with religion. But at the same time, these religious people who are claiming, but at the same time supporting Donald Trump, they are anti-immigration. You look in the Bible.
Wait, can I pause you actually first?
Absolutely.
Because I want to first talk about meaning. I'm going to go back to a little bit of the meaning thing there. So the reason why I asked like the meaning thing is like for you, it's like, hey, restriction on speech, restriction on reproductive rights. But I would almost argue that, well, I wouldn't say somebody is fascist for things that get voted for. Because at the end of the day, if I'm a fascist or am I a fascist leader, I don't give people control over any decisions that are made when it comes to policy or legal or anything like that.
Control over
any kind of policy or decision making when you are a fascist.
No, yeah, but that's how fascists operate, correct? But the thing is, when it comes to reproductive rights, it's not like he has full control over whether or how the reproductive rights are controlled. It's the people's decision. We vote as a people to decide whether this is controlled, that is controlled, so on and so forth. I know obviously the president can do executive orders and stuff like that, but generally, and even those things could get vetoed and overturned. That's like how our government works. You know, we have a judicial, executive, you know these things already. So this is what I'll kind of say, at least when it comes to labels, especially fascist and especially in the current day age we're in. At least with these words that we use, the issue, people have different meanings behind these words. And if people have different meanings behind these words, some people, when they hear fascist, they might really think authoritative, crazy leader that controls everything that you do. But the thing is, we don't live in a system where everything you do is controlled by one man, being Donald Trump. I understand he's the kind of figure, the way he's pretty crass with the way he kind of moves and the way he says things. So it gives you the impression that he has so much control over things. But I would argue that no, Donald Trump is not a fascist at all. I think he's very far from it. I do agree that he's crass.
Far from fascism.
Yeah, from fascism, bro. Fascism, bro, is like you have no control over anything you do. And I would say, especially in the United States, in the West, no, there's nobody who's even close to being called a fascist. And I would say we've gotten to a point where we've kind of went too far with a lot of these labels like fascism and stuff like that. And personally, just because I want to give you a chance here too, I don't think this is a good idea for our country to kind of be this way, where it's like, let's just label somebody a fascist, a Nazi, and all these things over and over and over again, because it then turns people kind of crazy. Because if I'm young, I'm impressionable. And when I hear Nazi or fascist, I'm thinking about worst possible person in history. I don't want to mention this on YouTube because, they're not going to fuck with it, but they're going to think that. So if I say, hey, this person is that, they're associating with worst person in history or whatever, in a lot of people's minds, killed this amount of people. So it's like people create these associations based on these different meanings. And I think there's a lot of problems with that. So at least what I would say, no, I don't think Donald Trump is a fascist. I don't think we've had a fascist leader ever in this country. I don't think we're ever going to get really close to that. I think there'd be a revolt before we get anything close to that. But yeah, that's kind of how I feel about that. So what do you think?
Okay, so I grew up in, and this is like, you can, on the mic, whatever. I grew up in the Midwest, in Missouri to be specific.
Gotcha.
Um,
Can I pause you real fast? Go far. Time. How much time? 35 minutes. Great. Go ahead.
I lived in an area where they completely despised my ideals, right?
I bet. Yeah, you seem pretty left leaning.
Absolutely, I am left leaning. What was your question?
Oh yeah, sorry about that. No, that's fine. It's because I paused you anyway. No. So I was just kind of asking like how you feel about like my little monologue there about like how Donald Trump isn't really a fascist. I know it seems because like
be careful about
labeling.
pronouncing and labeling someone as a fascist.
Yes.
Right. So
or just any label in general.
Absolutely.
Like,
In this day and age, you have Donald Trump, right?
Yes.
Jimmy Kimmel, throw it up for an example. You want to talk about free speech, yet you are chanting for Jimmy Kimmel's late night show to be canceled. That is an issue. No?
Well, this is what I would kind of say in response to that. For a while, especially like speaking for the right here, over the past decade and I would say a half, like people on the right have been getting canceled for certain words that they use, slurs or whatever, right? So they had a big issue with that. The left felt pretty like, no, you should be canceled for this. This is wrong. Okay, fine. While the right complained, it's not like they were like, hey, I think people should be getting canceled. The right was not like that. So what ends up happening is, especially with the passing of Charlie Kirk and labels like fascism and stuff like that, it's made the right be like, no, at this point, this is becoming like wrong. That like people are getting canceled. The labeling from the left side is getting, and I'm not trying to make this a both sides thing, but I'm just explaining the background that I'm seeing. It's becoming like okay, people are getting labeled very aggressively when they're not really that way. People are calling Charlie Kirk a fascist or a Nazi type figure or radical, which I'd be honest, being more right leaning, I mean, a lot right leaning, like he was far from it. I'd be honest, there's people way more aggressive. So the fact that the left's kind of seeing that and they've canceled people for way less, like just saying the N word, like when they were 13, it like creates this kind of problem where Trump finally now says, hey, this guy made a joke about somebody who recently passed, and honestly, cold blood, I don't think you would agree with his assassination, right? Maybe you disagreed with his politics.
I didn't agree with his politics. I do not agree with his assassination.
So that's kind of where it became an issue. Like, hey, this Jimmy Kimmel guy making a joke about, a proud American figure. It's just kind of like, he's like, bro, no, I don't want to see this guy talking anymore. I think when it comes to not political, it's like an innocent person dying, a political assassination, like that's kind of a problem that we're acting like this is just a cool thing.
So I
So
gave you some perspective.
Sure.
Okay, so Donald Trump, right? He was supposedly a friend of Charlie Kirk.
he helped him get elected.
Charlie Kirk led a movement of conservatism.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Young people, especially. Directing basically young people to become young and right leaning. Right leaning. Absolutely.
Correct.
Charlie Kirk.
Helped Trump get elected
You know
too.
what? Honestly, props to him because he was well at communicating, well at multiple other things, right?
Was very open to debate.
Very open to debate. But then you get down to the specifics. Charlie Kirk had said that the civil rights movement was a mistake. He has said he is okay.
Go ahead. You want to explain?
Yeah.
Okay, so that kind of position has been getting mischaracterized a lot. What he meant by that. So what he means by the civil rights movement was kind of a mistake. What he's saying that it's like gone too far.
Gone too far, but
Yeah, in the way of it went from, hey, we want to make people equal to the point that now we're putting in people in positions that they might not be qualified for. And I don't know, maybe you've seen clips or videos. People are kind of taking it out of context. They're like, oh my God, he said the civil rights movement was wrong. This means he doesn't want any other race to be equal. But really what he was trying to say is like, no, it's great that people are equal. But the thing is, we don't want to go too far where now we're taking people who are in positions that they've actually earned and replacing them just because we want to have a race swap here. And this is important. Hey, we need to make sure everybody's represented. But the thing is, structures kind of break if you're putting people in positions just because of the way they look instead of their merit or their capability. So that's really what his position kind of was.
for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we differ in that kind of sense. Charlie Kirk, he has spread a lot of divisive rhetoric. Don't even
Nature of politics.
Don't even leave it absolutely is the nature of politics, and don't leave it just to the civil rights movement, which he has claimed is a mistake. I absolutely do not believe that. The civil rights movement, I don't know in which way, shape, or fashion you can kind of claim that was a mistake and claim that people were better under slavery than they are now because they commit less crime. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How can you say that someone is better under slavery because they commit less crime than they are now when they are free? They have the freedoms that Charlie Kirk has.
Okay.
Right.
So let me explain what he meant about this too, because I think once again this is a mischaracterized position. What he was saying is that when black people were better under slavery, he meant that the community was a lot more close knit and efficient, meaning the black father and mother were both together and they could raise a child. The most ideal situation, maybe you agree or disagree here, the most ideal situation for a child to be raised in is when the mother and the father is there. Because it's like they balance out the child. There's the masculine role, there's the feminine role. It's great, it's awesome for children. All the other races have a stronger, close-knit nuclear family, so their kids perform better than the black youth. That's kind of what the situation is. So when Charlie says, hey, black people were better under slavery, what he means is not you guys were better when you guys were being whipped and being slaves. What he means is as a community and a family structure, you guys were great when it came to raising children. Black people were a lot more efficient. They were a lot more productive members of society. They were making almost just as much money as white people once they became free. But now we've had this situation in the black community, like the nuclear family is broken. A lot of black fathers either get incarcerated or end up in the jail system. So it creates a lot of issues. So that's kind of what more his position is. Like, he's not saying, I want black people to be slaves. He's saying, hey, you guys performed better when you were. So it's like crazy that now that that's gone, it's like now the black community is falling apart. So that's really what the situation kind of is there. That's what he means.
Do you think, truthfully,
Yes.
that black people were better
Under slavery?
under no Civil Rights Act?
Yes. From I would say from a community standpoint, 100%. From like a family structure community standpoint, yes.
Can I ask you what makes you think that?
So as I was just kind of saying, from a family structure standpoint, when the father and mother is there, that's the most ideal situation for a child to be raised. They gain a lot of competence. They got a lot of value from that. I've actually talked to a few teachers out here, and they're saying like, for the kids that don't have a really great home setup, they perform obviously worse than guys that are born with a mother and father in the home, shit like that. So I believe black people were better when, before the civil rights movement a lot compared to like now is what I'm comparing it to, because yes, once again, they were together, because during slavery, it's like it's not like you're looking to white people to like be in community with, you just have the community itself. So we got to stick together. There was that mentality there. And it allowed them to be very efficient and proficient. And that's what I'm saying. Even with early civil rights, like when it came out, the black community was amazing. They were making a ton of money. They were super efficient. Everything was great. So yeah, I would 100% argue we were better from a community family standpoint. If that's my position. Yes, that's my position.
Big,
yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, because that's what produces a member of society to be productive. Because at the end of the day, you want to see black people succeed. We want to see races succeed in society. Yeah, so it starts with the family. Everything comes down family. So yeah, that's my position.
Absolutely. If you want to talk more on fascism, I think silencing dissenting voices, even give Jimmy Kimmel. I don't know your opinions on Jimmy Kimmel. Your opinions on any kind of dissenting voice from the right. In our current day and age, silencing dissenting voices while also proclaiming to be the most pro free speech administration to exist is wrong. It's a lie, and it's a joke.
So this is what I'll kind of say here. And I don't want to hold you too long because this is great. I'm enjoying the conversation a lot. No, this is great. I'm enjoying this. This is great. This is like the first political conversation I've been able to have because a lot of people are like, I don't want to talk about this. So it's like, no, I enjoyed this a lot. Okay, so my thing on that with the silencing. Personally, me, I'll just say first, my position first. I'm not really interested in people getting censored at all. I'm not a fan of it at all. I don't think anybody should be censored. Obviously, we agree on the fact that nobody should be killed for their political views or whatever or harmed at all, right? So the thing with the censorship, from an employer standpoint, if somebody decides to pressure your employer and say, hey, I think somebody you're employing is a bad person or they're whatever, it's still your employer's decision at the end of the day if they want to fire you or not. Your employer could not give a fuck about your political views and be like, I don't care. You guys want me to fire this guy, but he does good work for me. I don't care about his views. I'm going to keep him. But if you have an employer that's going to fire you for your political views, well, I would argue then that your own negligence to not be aligned with an employer that you're working with. Because yeah, when you're applying to a job or you're working for somebody, a core tenet would be, I want to have the same values as somebody I'm working for. Because if I don't, you're going to run into a problem like this. So I would say, and I would argue, I don't want to see any kind of like laws around controlling people's speech. I don't want to see any hate speech. I don't want to see people get censored or banned. I think it's horrible. I think it's bad. That's when violence starts. That's a big thing Charlie Kirk even talked about a lot. When people can't speak freely. Yeah. And those kind of things are is very dangerous, even saying hate speech, because it creates a situation where it becomes quickly anybody who says something I don't like is hate speech, censored, banned, not good. That's what creates a lot. When it prevents stuff like this, like being able to sit and just having conversations. So anyway, bringing it all back down, point is, I don't think anybody should be censored. With the Jimmy Kimmel situation, based off what I've seen, the thing with him, though, is that his show already was not doing amazing, was not doing great. Absolutely. Yeah. So what adds the fuel to the fire is that then he makes a comment that a lot of people on the right are not a fan of right now, and your employer's already looking at you like, hey, you're not really bringing in that much revenue. Because let's be real, like, because he was comedian, talk show host, like that kind of stuff is dying. Like everybody's making content on the internet now. People want to watch streams. Like people are not really watching late night shows anymore or anything like that anymore. Yeah, so it became a situation where, okay, he said something people don't like, and then your show's not doing great. It was like a recipe for disaster, and unfortunately, he lost his job. So that's kind of more what the situation is there. I don't think people on the right want to censor people for their speech. It's just kind of like, hey, if you do something that I think is morally incorrect, like make a joke about somebody getting assassinated, they're going to have an issue with it. So at least tell me how you feel about that.
I think any kind of censorship around Charlie Kirk being assassinated is directly against everything that he supposedly had fought for. So free speech was very important in this country. Free speech has always been very important in this country. Charlie Kirk, for example, also was very pro free speech. And so any kind of censorship, um, any kind of distaste for people speaking their mind is anti free speech, is absolutely anti free speech. If you cannot speak your mind, it is not free speech.
I mean, anyway, what I kind of say then again there is like, as long as no one's preventing you, excuse me, as long as no one's preventing you from saying what you want to say, yeah, it's free speech still. What I would argue is, if you have the fear of getting shot for saying what you're going to say, like that feels way more like censorship than maybe somebody contacting your employer. So, we can talk about the semantics of that because that becomes very like, well, he, she kind of situation. I don't think Trump wants people to be censored or anything like that. Yes, it does kind of maybe look that way from the left, like, hey, why are you saying you're calling for this guy to get his show removed? It looks like anti-free speech, but he's kind of calling for it, but he can't really do anything about it. Like, it's not like he forced him to get fired. His employer chose to make that decision. Because like I said before, I can go to your I can go to your employer and be like, fire this dude. And it doesn't even have a political reason. I might just see you, maybe you're working in some like restaurant and you treat me horribly. I'm like, let me talk to the manager. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. So it might seem like maybe he was trying to censor speech, but I really think it's just more like he didn't like what Jimmy Kimmel did. So he's like, why is he even talking like he said something deplorable? But I want to hear your...
But even at that point, when you are so pro, apparently, free speech,
I get what you're...
you are so apparently free speech. You are going in his State of the Union address. I am restoring free speech and government overreach of restricting free speech, right?
Yeah.
When that's absolutely what is occurring, right? So, I mean, a journalist from the Washington Post is fired for quoting Charlie Kirk's own words. And why is that the case? And why is that acceptable? And if you are so pro Constitution and our basic freedoms in the United States, why is that acceptable?
So, and this is how I would kind of say that this might be a more common ground situation here. This is my thing. If for you, it's more like, hey, if you're going to say you're pro speech and pro free speech, you basically should never even suggest saying, okay, somebody get removed from something. Is basically your position there. And what am I mischaracterizing you?
You're not mischaracterizing. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
If you are claiming to be pro free speech in every absolute sense, then no.
You can't say
whatever Jimmy Kimmel said absolutely should not go against the guidelines to which what should be broadcasted. Absolutely not.
Yeah. So almost what I would then say is like, it's more like, because once again, he does not have control over what the employer does. He can say this person should be removed. He can say that because it's fun. It's a weird way, but it's in a funny way. That's free speech in itself. Like, I have the freedom to say somebody should be censored. Like, I got the freedom to say you should be censored, but I can't do shit about it. Like, and I think that's kind of what it is more. But I'm completely so fine with the fact that, hey, even though you can't really get somebody censored for their speech, I still want to fucking hold you to the standard of don't even suggest it. And I would agree with that too. Like, for me, I'm pro free speech. I'm pretty much a free speech absolutist, to be real. I want anybody to say whatever they want. Hell, I don't even want people on the left to get banned or censored for laughing at Charlie's death or whatever. I want everybody to be able to say whatever they want to say. So I'm never going to call for somebody to get censored or banned at all, ever. You know, I'm like, say whatever the fuck you want to say. So I would agree with you kind of on that position. Like, yes, with Trump saying I'm pro free speech, I don't think it was a good idea for him to even make a suggestion about censoring somebody, even though he can't really do it, because that it does kind of look like a bad look there. So I'd agree with that position. Yeah.
Contradicting.
Yeah, it looks. Yeah, I optically, I would agree. It does not look great, but I'd agree with that. And yeah, no. This honestly has been a great conversation, by the way, man. It's enjoyable. What's your name again?
Gabe.
Gabe. Oh, nah, bro. Oh, there we go, man. You right, bro? You trying to fall over, bro? What's your name, man?
Oh yeah, I'm Michael.
Nice to meet you, Michael. I'm Ollie.
Yeah. Oliver.
Ollie.
Ollie.
Yeah, like, you know, like the skateboard move, like the OLLIE. Yeah, type shit. Yeah, no, I mean, basically, this is a fan podcast. It's for young ambitious men. I don't know what he told you already, but basically, I'm, asking people from different walks of life about their career and stuff like that, because maybe you're doing something that a guy kind of wants to get into. So, like, I kind of want to hear a little bit about that, and maybe, a guy can learn from your experience. Is that cool? Okay, cool. So, first, I want to ask you, live in DC?
Yeah, I know. I live in I go to UMD, so I live in the College Park area.
Cool.
So yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
awesome.
I'm in the area. So,
Okay. So, Allison, when I would ask, what are you studying at UMD?
I study economics and sociology, so I hope to get into some type of field where I'm able to make a change for different people that are in the areas where I want them to be able to live better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, at least with what you're currently studying, what year are you actually in at UMD?
I'm a senior, so yeah.
Okay, oh, so you're about to graduate.
I'm
Okay,
about
so
to-
happy early graduation, by the way, man.
Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you so
Okay,
much,
cool. So, at least you said you want to help people in particular areas.
1,000%, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what would the career path entail with that? Is there a specific job kind of? What does that look like?
Yeah, so I mean, where I grew up in Fairfield County, Connecticut, and in that county specifically, there are so many different areas where everyone is from specifically a different tax bracket. There are so many people from different areas where we can go down one street. For instance, we can go down first Route 1. We go to that one same route. We can go down. There are so many like Maserati stores, so many there are so many different Tesla stores, and they keep going on the same street, and there are houses that are cracked down for people that are homeless, for people, everything like that. It's like there are so many places for different people of different tax for that same route, and I just wish to bring in energy where I can help people of all different tax brackets to equate to the same income for people that are able to live to the minimums that they hope to be able to afford.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So, is there like, what would be the career for that? Then is it just like you'd have to? I mean, I guess because in my mind immediately I would think like if you worked for a non-profit, I guess you could do like something like that. So I guess your degree would help with that. Is that kind of what you're looking at?
No, I get that's it. But also, I just want to go to any company that is hoping to look at different and anything where I can be a help of different people. All tax programs, we're able to actually provide income help to anyone that can actually do that. Actually support people, actually support different communities. I've been absolutely marginalized by the current administration, anything like that, and I want us to absolutely help them for that stuff.
Okay,
so yeah.
Okay, so one side question I kind of asked about that then. So when you say, at least from an economic standpoint, do you mean like almost like teaching financial literacy, or like how to manage income, or like what would that kind of look like if you already know from what you studied?
Yeah, no, but also I think absolutely setting up programs where people are able to understand their own financial literacy, because our own schools where people that have children that go to these schools that like they're funding these things for their children to go to these things. A lot of institutions don't teach that to them.
I
And
agree.
And it's like I would love to be in an institution that helps others understand what that means, and also understand what it means to go beyond past that, to getting an education that supports that, to getting other people that understand that, but also having federal programs that help individuals that cannot reach those programs without those institutions to understand what that means and help them first and foremost. Yeah.
Because like,
it's really important. Yeah.
because even that's the reason why I asked that, because like I feel like that is a very massive thing, because I feel like a lot of times, because at least when it comes to me about learning about money, economics, all of that shit I learned outside of school. I was not learning, because obviously in school, you learn your economics, supply and demand, that shit, but you're not really applying that to real finances and the shit that you buy in your bank account and shit like that. So at least from a financial standpoint, I do think if there's like, well, I guess the education system could do a better job of it. The good thing is that the internet exists now. So if you want to learn about how money works, how money flows, you can go learn that shit. But I would agree with the fact that if people can learn how to manage their finances better, and of course learn how to get positions or how their job actually works, or breaks how the finances will break down, so they do not end up in a position where their economics are not in a good place, then that would be great. So I agree with the sentiment a lot. Is that kind of like what you're looking towards?
No, I agree. Yeah, I think a lot of places where, for instance, like a lot of different programs are subsidized. I wish we would actually have more government subsidized programs where people would actually be able to do that stuff, because a lot of stuff is like, for instance, where I'm back home it's a lot of state subsidized stuff where the government doesn't necessarily fund that. It's the state government that does that. Where I think that the federal government. Hey, I think the federal government should have more say in actually helping people within their own citizenship. Everything that is within the student, not student, is within the citizen body to understand that stuff because it is something that helps them long term. Um, our federal government doesn't do a good enough job with they provide different relief funds for when different things happen X, Y, and Z. When a specific, for instance, when COVID happens, they added a specific fund of what happens. They don't teach them how to, hey, maybe use that funds for different things and
Yeah.
use that for other these things. They don't have those programs for them. They
Gotcha.
just give them the money and they
And then hope we're there. All right, good luck. Good luck, man. Here's $1,000.
and every family that gets some of the guests, like we have
Yeah,
that money,
I
we can
agree,
do what we
yeah.
want for, but it's also it's like they're not able to truly invest that in what is important for them, what is important for the long term growth. It's frustrating. It's frustrating that our federal government does that. So yeah, that's my biggest thing with that. So
Nah, I definitely agree with this sentiment. I think if financial education or a lot of people were more educated about their finances, they'd be fine. Because a lot of the times it's never even really about. Because a lot of people actually make a shit. Because you know how you just mentioned and we'll kind of finish up here because I do want to close out. Yeah, but kind of like with the tax bracket thing you mentioned, bro. There's a ton of people who make a ton of money, but they're horrible with their finances and they're basically living paycheck to paycheck. Where there's people that'll be like 3 tax brackets below, but are living freely and perfectly because they have the financial sense. So this sentiment, it's great, and I think if more people understand how to manage their finances, your life can be pretty smooth. So yeah, with that being said, man, I appreciate that, man. What's your name again?
Michael, love to be
Michael. Yeah, no, that was awesome, bro. Perfect. Yeah, thank you, man. Perfect. Yup. Have a good one, man. Yes, sir. All right, man. Let's get it done. You guys have a great night, man. Yeah, bro. How much time we got left on this? All right, bro. Now I'm closing out, man. If I sit down there in person, bro, I would want to wait. I was gonna say. I mean, I want to talk to you again, but I gotta close out now, bro. But anyway, once I'm done, anyway. You know how we do it, fam. Back out here in DC, enjoying the vibes. Great conversations from between yesterday and today. We're gonna be back out here again Friday, Saturday next week. So if you live in the DC area, you're seeing this shit, come sit with me, come talk to me. It's great vibes. And if you guys have any questions you want me to ask more of that would benefit you guys a lot more, like, hey, I need to ask this more, ask less of this, have this conversation be longer, just anything like that would make this shit a lot more valuable and helpful to you guys. Because I want you guys to reach the peak of your power, peak of your masculinity, just become winners in life. And yeah, man, that's with that being said, like and subscribe too, because you fuck with me and I'm a real ass nigga. And yeah, man, I'll catch you guys tomorrow with some other videos like regular content, and then next week we'll be back out here. So yeah, so with that being said, peace out, y'all.